All right, everybody, welcome to the Birdie Hammer podcast. We are live in the flesh for those of you that are watching. And if you are listening to this at some point after, we're going live. So you can watch us on live on YouTube or our Twitch. That stuff will be linked up in the description. And for this episode, we will be giving you our Saturday night's main event predictions. So, Dylan, why don't you talk us through your excitement level for this kind of PLE one night extravaganza?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Actually, we've got a really solid card across the board here. Some exciting matches and feuds. Really, the 2 week turnaround from War Games, or 2 or 3 weeks to Saturday night main event was they built up these couple of these feuds quickly, and we got some really some hot feuds that I'm excited to kind of see unfold here on this. I guess it's a network TV special, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is, a little bit of a throwback there. Who knows even how much longer network TV specials will even be able, who knows how long cable television will even still exist. So,
yeah, that's true.
Well, it's definitely going to be cool to kind of go back in time in this whole thing. They're kind of keeping the whole Saturday night main event theme from back in the day. And then, of course, we had a nice little Easter egg dropped through by Triple H and Cody Rhodes through a video that I'm sure we'll get to that before the main event. But I'm really excited, honestly. I feel like they did a really good job at turning around with a small amount of time and building these feuds up to make them real hot and get everyone excited for this match card.
Yeah, I mean, this is another one that it seems like it's going to be sneaky good, Dylan. You got a good card. And how long do you think it's going to be? 2 or 3 hours?
It's 2 hours, I believe. I think it's from 8
there
to
it
10.
is. Okay.
It's like on cable TV. They have a spot in.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, because I was curious to see how long it was going to be, because they got 5 matches on the card.
I believe it's only. Yeah, I believe it's only gonna be 2 hours. I believe 8 to 10. So like the episode of like the length of time of like a Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah,
but
I mean, so
instead of promos, just 5 straight up matches, which I think that'll be cool. Honestly, it'll be kind of cool to, because there'll be a lot less like wasted time between matches. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
So that'll be cool.
yeah, for sure. Because that's kind of the thing where usually on the 2-hour shows for like Raw or SmackDown, you typically will have around 4 or 5 matches, depending on what else you kind of have between that. So just kind of like ripping off match after match is going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. But Dylan, before we get to Saturday night's main event, we actually have the women's U.S. tournament, which is going down tonight, Friday night. We have the 2 semifinal matches, so obviously we don't know the 2 finalists for our predictions, but I don't know about you, but my prediction, I still feel pretty strong that it's going to be Chelsea Green walking out of main event as your Women's United States champion. I think it's probably gonna be her versus Tiff.
You think?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They already they have a bit of beef, slight history there. They kind of been going at it in the background of SmackDown for the past couple of weeks, and her versus Mishin just doesn't really make too much sense. But I think Chelsea versus Tiff would be an absolute banger of a match.
I mean, Chelsea and Mishin, they did have, the dumpster match on SmackDown and stuff. So, I can see how you feel it might not make sense where it seems like they were kind of done with that feud and they'll kind of just be bringing it back up for no reason. Um, but I'm going to have to disagree because I do think it's going to be Michin versus, I believe it's, yeah, excuse me. I believe it's going to be Michin versus Chelsea Green, and I actually believe that Michin is going to win and become the Women's United States Champion. That's what I believe.
Interesting.
I'm all on board for Chelsea Green getting the title, but I think Michin would be a good first champion. Not that Chelsea wouldn't be. I just think that Michin would be a really good first champion, likable babyface, and it really gives her an opportunity to shine and show why Triple H brought her back to the company in the first place. She's really talented, and I feel like as much as Chelsea could also benefit from it, I trust that Chelsea doesn't necessarily need it as much as Michin does. I believe Michin might be able to benefit a little bit more from it, if that makes any sense.
For sure.
Although, like I said before, no complaints if Chelsea wins at all. I'm all on board for that. And I think Chelsea beating Michin also makes a lot of sense. So, but
do you think there's
Chelsea
any
versus
shot
Tiff
that
would be like a sneaky bang. I mean, so would the match with Michin. But like that could be like
any combination.
That could be a sneaky like banger if they give these women some time to really go. Like this could be a sneaky match of the night contender.
Do you think that is there any shot that Tiff is going to win?
I do. Title? I think there's a slight chance, especially if she's in the match. If she's in the match, I think there's a pretty. I mean, obviously, if she's in the match, then she has a better chance. But like if I don't even think she's gonna be in the match. If she's in the match, part of me thinks she's gonna win.
Okay.
So
then
it'll be interesting.
A lot
to
of
see.
problems with the Money in the Bank.
It would. So that's why I don't think it's smart to put it on her. I think, don't do that.
Is there any chance she cashes in on the U.S. title?
No.
Okay.
0%
Let's hope not.
Chance. No.
We saw what happened before when someone tried to do that.
No, that was because
it didn't go well.
Trips was trying.
That was erasing a decision.
That was like Trips just trying to get out of a hole that Vince McMahon dug.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that was crazy. All right, so I'm going to I'm taking Chelsea Green. Dylan's taking Michin to win, assuming they're both in this match. Obviously, we don't know as of right now. Also, I will say,
Tiff versus Bailey is also very possible for this match.
Like any combination really could happen.
And then Bailey being the first champion is also like very realistic and possible as well. So really I could see any four of these women coming out on top and being the first champ. So
that
makes it a lot more exciting.
It does. And I wish that they would have done it like had the finalists decided last week instead of doing it the night before.
Agreed. I wish they would have had this decided last. Shout out to Billy in the live stream, our day one. But I feel like if they decided this last week, it would have been better because then they'd be able to cut a promo tonight and make
that's what I think we're missing,
and have a nice segment to set it up. I'm assuming they'll probably do some sort of something that like whoever wins the first match will come out after the second match, or they'll do some sort of backstage. They'll do a little bit of something, but I do agree that if they set this up last week and then gave them a little bit of time to put some heat behind it, it would have been cool. But also, they were working with limited time.
Yeah, but Also,
But that's not. I mean, that's also
that's
on
probably
them.
on them.
No, yeah, that's also on them. Um, but I do like the idea of it does make it feel very like it makes it feel much more like a sport. The fact that they're like semifinals are today, then they have to go again tomorrow for the finals. Like it feels kind of like I don't know, doesn't it?
Yes.
It just feels like sort of so almost like an Olympic sort of like tournament vibe. I don't know, where you're just
Kind of like the
keep it going.
G1 climax.
No, honestly, yeah. But I think I'm assuming that they're gonna crown the first women's IC champ at the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
hoping. I'm hoping they don't just do it on Raw. Maybe they'll do it on the first Raw. They'll probably do it the first Raw of Netflix.
probably. But they also
Yeah.
are doing another Saturday night's main event in January.
Oh, what the hell?
January 25th.
I feel like that's wild.
It is.
It doesn't make me
It's
less
insane.
excited for this one, but it's like,
Let me
Isn't the
double
whole-
check. I'm pretty sure I saw them just post it.
are you sure it's not like January 2026? So it'll be like around this time next year.
Hold on. No. It's January 25th,
Damn.
San Antonio, Texas.
Well, good chance it'll be there.
Yeah.
But I also think first Raw of Netflix is probably a good
that
call too.
ooh, that first Raw on Netflix,
That's gonna be wild, dude.
it's gonna be wild.
I gotta sign
It's
up for
gonna be
Netflix
insane.
like next week, this week or
I know.
something.
That sucks.
Yeah, let my Netflix go
That's
go
all right.
out. Once I moved here and it kicked me off my family Netflix, I was like, yeah, dude, I'll just wait till I'm forced to sign up for Raw.
Yeah, and you also don't realize like how much you don't really watch a lot of different streaming services. Like if you just cancel one and you're like, I'll get it when I want to watch something, like
Yeah.
you'll be like, there'll be a while before you watch it. So
Yeah.
let's get into our next match here, Dylan. And let's talk about one of our newest matches, and that's Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
You talk about a match that could be match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
This one's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. Drew recently came back within, I think it was 2 weeks ago. He came back, and attacked Sammy, and then Sammy just straight up said, "I'm done running. We're gonna fight on main event." So we got the match made official. Has Drew explained his actions? Because I know you watch Raw more than I do.
Yes. He basically said he's just like basically for the bloodline stuff. Like he's
Okay.
basically just for like teaming with Roman and Punk.
Okay.
He was like,
That
you
makes
teamed
sense.
with my two largest
Nemesis.
enemies. And he was also just like, it was a sort of thing where he was like, I'm tired of like people just like being brainwashed by these guys is essentially what he was saying. It was like a video package.
Okay.
He was essentially like, he was like, you just believe whatever these guys tell you, and I'm just sick of it. He was like, that's why I took out Jay. He was like, that's why I took out Sammy. It's like, because they're right back next to him, like nothing happened. It's like they're idiots, basically. So, I like this version of Drew. Absolutely should be a banger. Can I say this?
Say
They're
it.
toting a line with Drew, though,
Okay.
in my opinion. Where if they don't put gold on him at some point, they're gonna be pretty. He's gonna be pretty lost in the fold, because he's like that feud with Punk was so top tier. Punk can't be the only person that like moves up now because of, you know what I mean? Like, not that these guys had really anywhere to go. They're both main event level superstars, but like we can't have Drew go back down after that. Like Drew needs to move on something bigger. And I'm not saying that don't want this like small feud with Sammy. Essentially, by Mania, like he needs to be in something big. Like Drew needs to be in something big.
Yeah.
Like Drew versus Jey Uso at WrestleMania is not cutting it. Like is not cutting it.
It's not.
Like Drew needs a big match.
That's what we were talked about before. That could work.
Because I want him to win. That's the other thing. I also love the idea of Drew versus Cena at Mania.
Okay. Now we're talking.
Like, we get like this new version of Drew versus Cena on the mic. Like, they could get some heat behind this. Like, this could be a really good feud. Like, we'll get into that on, I'm sure we've done a podcast and we could do another one about all the people we want Cena to face.
Yeah. And well, that was the thing too with when we talked about WrestleMania early match card predictions, was how hard it was for us to figure out what Drew was going to do at WrestleMania.
What did I have him end up doing? I forget. It was something good,
I forget. I think I had him face Braun.
Braun Breaker?
That's the one.
Yeah. Now that I said it, I really like Cena. Like, I really like the idea of McIntyre versus Cena.
Yeah, I just really want Cena to face Gunther.
Yeah, I get that too. But I mean, no, I can't. I'm not even gonna say but. That would be sick. Like, there's not even But I could get behind a Gunther. Essentially, I just want Gunther to squash Goldberg so bad. Like, I don't want to, like, I'm not excited to see the match, and it's not like, if in a perfect world Goldberg doesn't come back at all. But like, we've gotten the announcement that Goldberg is coming back and will have his last match. It will probably be at WrestleMania. You would have to assume.
Most likely.
That's like, until we hear different, you're gonna have to assume it's at WrestleMania, right? Like,
yeah.
So to me, I'm just like, just seeing, if I have to see him, I'd rather just let Gunther go full babyface and have Goldberg get booed out of the building against Gunther, and it'll be sick. And
yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what
But
Goldberg's
then
going
again,
to do.
like I said, I don't want that. Like, this is like a thing where it's like, if Goldberg's on the card, that's what I want to see happen. I want to see him get squashed by Gunther. Like,
okay. Interesting.
So, I mean, you can
I'm just
agree
worried.
there, right?
Oh yeah, I'm just worried that they're gonna have him win his last match.
I mean, so no, he won't.
Okay, I hope not.
That's not how you go out, bro. I don't know. Like, in my opinion, I'm like, I don't think they would. I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense for Goldberg's personality to win in his last match, but like, to me, WWE gains nothing from it. You know what I mean? Like, if Triple H, in Triple H's eyes, he's like, all right, well, you coming back to just win a match is like not really worth it for me. Like,
yeah, I feel
they
like
need
maybe
to
they
build
think they owe him that.
No, I think
Okay.
I think it's less of like an owe him sort of thing, and I think it's like we would like to make this happen, but we're not just gonna like. It also has to be beneficial to us.
Okay.
If it was Vince, don't get me wrong, he wouldn't be retiring. He'd be the champion right now. We'd be having Goldberg versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania to combine a third world title that they created for Goldberg. But yeah,
Let's pivot back. Let's pivot
who
back.
do you think's gonna win?
Drew.
Who do you think's gonna win? Drew or Sammy? Gotta be Drew.
Probably Drew.
Gotta be Drew. Can't have Drew come back after that Punk feud, after losing that Punk feud, and
it would be tough. That would be tough.
I mean, that would squash him.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing like making a comeback and immediately lose.
Especially to Sammy. Not to be like that, but like especially Sammy, like the ultimate underdog guy. Like, I think Drew needs to like, I want like a good match, but then I almost want Drew to go like full psycho and have like the referee stop the match. And like that's how Drew wins. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I don't want it to be a squash or any. Like definitely not a squash. Don't give me a squash. Like give me a good match. Give me a good back and forth match. Like whatever, 15 minutes, and then it's like 15 minutes in, Drew is just like has it from minute 12 to 15. I just need Drew to just be annihilating Sammy until it's like over.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I could see it because Drew is, and like I said, I'm being a little biased because I'm a fan, but I really try to look at things from like an outside, like I really try to take off my personal goggles when I think about things like this, like so, and I think you would agree about the Drew thing that it's just like they just need to do something big with Drew. They need to. Like they,
yeah,
and especially after losing that feud, like it isn't very often that a guy like Drew McIntyre, especially, can lose a feud and be elevated from it because he's so, like, because he's just such a beast and monster that like whenever he loses, it feels like I'm trying to think of a random example. Someone like Dragon Lee can get really, really close in a match with Sami Zayn and then lose, and that elevates Dragon Lee a bit.
Yeah.
That does not do the same for Drew McIntyre. You know what I mean? Like he needs to he needs to win this handily, in my opinion.
I think he will.
I think he will too. I think they're. I trust Triple H with Drew too. I think they have a plan.
I think it's also going to be a situation of like most of the match. You're not really gonna get a sense that Sammy's gonna win, and then like he'll get like a good flurry of offense, but then I think it's gonna kind of be like Drew's power and ruthlessness is just going to be a bit too much. So, we're both taking Drew to win. I also don't think that like it would potentially be different if this was the main event match, but after what KO said in his in-car interview with Michael Cole, I think like we both said in our predictions, we're getting KO versus Sammy at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, that's happening.
Because in case anyone didn't watch it, he said Cole brought up Sami Zayn and he said, "I'll deal with Sami Zayn when the time comes," or something kind of similar.
I'm pretty sure he said, "I'll deal with Sammy when I deal with." Or he was like, "We'll get to." He was like, "I'm gonna deal with Sammy. Like we'll get to Sammy."
Yeah. So to me, that was a bit of foreshadowing.
Oh, for sure, no doubt.
So yeah, I mean, Sami Zayn, I don't think he can like afford a loss here and not get hurt too bad. But you give Drew a loss here, and it's going to kind of bury him a little bit.
Yeah.
And he needs to kind of like reset and reestablish himself also, because like as strong as he did look in that Punk feud, he ultimately did lose it. So he kind of needs to come back, and he
No,
always
100%. Yeah,
looks like a
that's
beast. But coming back and losing, it's not gonna do anything
Yeah.
good for him. So
No, it's not really an option, honestly. So
Also, we're in a weird spot with this kind of sort of PLE, not really PLE, cable television special situation here, because we have this one, and then we have obviously now the one on January 25th, and then we have the Royal Rumble on like the first weekend of February.
yeah,
So it's like, and that'll start the road to WrestleMania. So we're kind of in a tricky gray area here where some things may not really get started that are potentially going to be WrestleMania feuds and matches, because you don't want to build them out for 5 months when you can wait another month or two and get a cleaner build. So it's tougher to predict, because I feel like something big is going to happen on this show. And I know what you think
For
is,
sure.
which we'll get to in a little
Yeah.
bit, but I feel like them doing a cable television special like this on NBC, like they have to have something big planned, especially since there wasn't like a big twist or a massive moment at
Yeah.
War Games.
I mean, we'll get to it when we talk about the main event, like another thing. But I mean, right off the bat, we'll just air it out here. I think The Rock is very possible. Like
You think?
Yeah, just similar. I think similar situation.
Coming out and doing something that won't mean anything?
Yeah, just standing at the top and walking away.
Do a new gesture?
Yeah, maybe he'll I don't know. He'll bounce his boobs. Come out here, you'll bounce your boobs. Say a little blah blah blah. That was like my favorite John Cena promo against him. I don't know.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? He was like, you'll come out, you bounce your boobs. Yeah, have some fun.
Hey man, the boob bouncing was awesome. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. When Batista used to bounce his boobs, dude, that
Oh,
shit
yeah.
was tight. And let me say this. Let me say this too, because I feel like we need to at least. I want some credit here, where a lot of people were talking about what The Rock's hand gesture meant at what PLE was that? Was that Bad Blood?
What?
When he came out? No, he did like the 1, 2, 3 thing.
Oh yeah.
And then everyone was
Is that
like,
what he
"Oh my god, what does it mean?" And then on the podcast, I said it probably means nothing, because he does that. He just comes out and just does things that don't make sense.
Bro, I literally think that was him saying, "Cut the music, 1, 2, 3, start the music again." I literally think
Yeah.
that's what it was him doing.
I think that's so much worse.
I agree.
It's
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I do
It's
think that is
terrible.
no, it didn't mean shit. He's just, dude. He just
Sucks.
does, and he just thinks
He
whatever he does
sucks.
is gonna be awesome because he's The Rock. And
Maybe 20 years ago,
yeah,
not anymore. What give us a number? What percentage you think that The Rock pulls up main event?
I'll give it like 30.
30.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think there's a good
Okay.
chance.
Okay. I think
think
there's
if
no
Cody-
shot.
I think if Cody retains, then it's a very good chance.
My thing with that is, if he can come out now, then why couldn't he come out 2 weeks ago when it would have meant so much more at War
Because he's
Games?
not worried about Roman. Because he's not worried about Roman. He's only worried about Cody right now. Then Roman's
Yeah,
gonna win
but-
the Rumble and get himself involved.
God. I don't think I'm okay with Roman winning the Rumble.
In that situation, I am.
Okay. All
In
right.
that situation, I am because I do like the idea of Roman like stealing the spot from The Rock, like the way Cody did to The Rock. Ideally, he'd just not be involved. But yeah, we can. We should probably go on to the next match.
Yeah. So let's talk about the women's World Championship match, Dylan, because you
Mm-hmm.
got Liv Morgan versus Io Sky, and this one's interesting, Dylan, because this is one that I'm not quite sure how this is going to pan out here,
Yeah.
especially because Rhea obviously was OP in the War Games match. They obviously had a bit of a thing on Raw. I don't know if it was this past week or the week before. They both kind of grabbed the bell and say, "Whoa, whoa, I'm the number one contender. I want my rematch." Kind of this and that. And like I said, we're in a weird area of not really starting anything for WrestleMania quite yet. So I'm not sure. What do you think's happening with this match?
I think Liv probably retains here, but I think it gets cloudy. Like I think it starts to. I think the story unfolds a lot more obviously. I'm almost. Did you almost take that as a hint of Rhea and Io for Mania?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, we're all down for that.
Yeah, sign me up.
So Io wins the Rumble.
Maybe. Nah.
I think.
Charlotte.
But Charlotte can win Elimination Chamber, or Io can
Maybe
win
Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. But then Io, how did Io? Oh no, Io became world champion by winning Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So, yeah, give me Io winning either one of them. I think
Okay.
that was essentially I do think Liv retains here, but I think the seeds were planted for Rhea to take the title off of Liv, and then I think they're gonna go to Liv versus to Rhea versus Io at Mania.
Okay.
And whether or not Io takes it off of Rhea, that'll be something to see. Or maybe it's somehow a triple threat gets us all the way there, but I don't see it. At this point, I think they're going to take the title off Liv and put Liv and Raquel in the tag division
Okay.
as a heel
Interesting.
tag team. And I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all, but I'm trying to, because it's tough. I think we have to kind of look at what the match is going to be for WrestleMania, because I don't know if they can keep Rhea versus Liv going until WrestleMania at this point. So
No, agreed. I think I could definitely see Rhea winning it back on the first on Raw on Netflix. Or like something like that.
okay.
You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
Rhea takes this belt back, and then we get to Rhea versus Io.
Okay. So you're taking Liv. I'm actually going to take Io here, Dylan.
Dude, no complaints from me.
I was thinking about it for a while, kind of going back and forth, and like I said, I think something big is gonna happen on this show. Like I would be surprised if something big did not happen, and I think we're gonna get like a good title change, and I don't think it's the other two matches. And I think it's gonna be this, and because I don't like you kind of just broke it down. I don't think we're gonna be. The end goal isn't Liv versus Rhea at WrestleMania anymore. So I mean, you give Liv the win here, then what? Her and Rhea are going to be beefing for another 4 months. Like it's just not going to happen. So I think they're going to kind of shake things up a little bit, do a little bit of a swerve job here, and put the title on Io, rightfully so. She's one of the best wrestlers on the roster, and she's one of the most over wrestlers also. So I think the place would go nuts if she got the win here. So
Men's or women's division.
Oh yeah.
Top 5 wrestler on the roster.
Oh
Get
yeah.
that
She's
straight.
so good. So good.
So good.
Every time she just comes in, you're just like, holy shit. She's really good.
Dude, and she's just so likable too. Like she just like has that energy like I don't know, like it's like my girlfriend knows who people are and stuff. Like she's educated on the stories and whatnot, but she's obviously not like mostly is just watching because I'm watching, obviously. But EO I know is one that just like war games specifically. Like she was just like EO is awesome. Like and she is. It's just like, and I say that to
Yeah.
be like that's coming from like a non wrestling fan. You know what I mean? Watching
Yeah.
wrestling and being like EO Sky is awesome. So I think that um is a testament to dude. She really is, and I the fact that she's been able to like stay this over through basically doing nothing for the pet like since losing the title
Yeah.
to Bailey, um, like the fact that she's literally just been able to come back and just hop back into a title feud and everyone is all about it. Like just a testament to how amazing she is.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that you associate with like a main event caliber wrestler is regardless of what
Yeah,
they do,
seriously.
every time they come out, they get a massive crowd reaction. So Dylan's
Mhm.
taking Liv Morgan. I'm taking Io Sky to win the Women's World Championship. So let's move on, Dylan, because we have the Men's World Heavyweight Championship. That is a triple threat match. You got Damian Priest. What? You got Finn Balor. What? You got the Ring General, your champion, Gunther. Dylan, talk me through this match.
Yeah, so first, we talked about it last week. We were getting Gunther versus Finn. We got that announced, and it was pretty obvious in our head that we get Gunther versus Finn, and then Damien calls Finn the match. This is way more. This is way better. This
Yeah.
is way better. Triple threat makes way more sense. Much better. I this should this absolutely this will probably end up being match of the night. This is going to be, dude, a banger. Like a
Yeah.
fucking banger. Trying to curse less so we can try to get monetized. But this is going to be an effing banger. It's gonna be a fucking banger, man. So yeah, it's gonna be a good match.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Gunther's definitely gonna win.
oh yeah.
And then this will lead to probably one final Damien and Finn match, and that could possibly take place at the first Raw. I think we need to
Raw.
I think we need to start incorporating like the first Raw of Netflix as like PLE. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I'm
it
with
pretty
you.
much like it's gonna be that level. I'm assuming.
Yeah. And I think Finn's kind of in there probably to eat the pin. And also to justify like what I said on last week's episode with like Finn costing Priest the title and then Finn getting a title match. And it was just like, what the hell was the logic in that? So now doing it as a triple threat match makes it way better. No interferences, no rules really.
Yeah.
And Gunther's gonna win. I'm assuming Finn's going to eat the pin. Maybe Priest versus Gunther, like you said. First Raw on Netflix. Maybe at the next main event towards
Priest
the
versus
end of
Finn, you mean?
January. What?
Priest versus Finn, you mean?
No, Priest versus Gunther.
You think this is the end of the Priest and Finn?
No, but I think we're going Priest versus Gunther next.
Like 1-on-1 again?
Yeah,
Maybe.
because it wasn't supposed to be. He didn't. It wasn't like. I don't know. I think he's gonna be like, you didn't pin me.
He never got his clean mat. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much potentially. But yeah, I'm with you. I feel like I don't know, to me it just feels like they're gonna go to Damien versus Finn, and then they'll have like one final blow off at like the first Raw, and they'll have like a last man standing match or something.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I could see that happening as well.
And then I could definitely see them going back to Damien like as a little filler until we get to Mania. And then it'll be interesting to see what Damien does at Mania. But
Yeah.
I do think that we are definitely getting a Gunther retention here. Do you think it's a? You said pinfall. You said Finn is eating the pin.
Um,
It's always
Probably.
fun
I
to
feel like
predict how
it's.
Gunther's gonna win.
I think pinfall. I think it's pretty tough to win via submission in a triple threat match,
Yeah, the chokeout would be difficult in a triple threat.
unless he chokes them both out
That would be sick.
at the
I
same
almost
time.
want that to happen.
And then Finn taps, but Priest doesn't.
I like where your head's at.
Thanks, Dill. You're my best friend.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next and the final match, Dylan. What is going to be the main event of Saturday night's main event? And that's going to be Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, Dylan. Or will it be for the Winged Eagle?
It may
What
be.
do we think?
That's what it seems like.
What's in that package?
Yeah, so Triple H, of course, giving Cody Rhodes that box we alluded to earlier in the episode. And I will say, they're going pretty hard on the one night only thing. So I will say, I do think, I think Triple H is doing that because he knows everybody's going to want it to stay. So I think he's saying one night only as much as possible. I don't. So, with that being said, hopefully it's not. But the big question is it going to be like the straight up old school title? Or is it going to be... What if it's the one Dusty actually held up?
That was my other thought, too.
Yeah.
I'll say this. That's one. That's a good
You
title.
like that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, Winged Eagle's probably most likely, right? The biggest question, I feel like, is it the straight up old Winged Eagle, or is it a new take on the Winged Eagle? I'll tell you this.
Tell me.
I don't think they're ever going to pass up an opportunity. I think they know a new age Winged Eagle would sell like crazy. Like so many people would buy that. So even if they don't, I think they could have, even if it doesn't stay around, I think they know that how much a new version of it would sell. So I'm gonna guess a newer version. And then if you do that, they always leave the door open to where they can stay around, even though they do. Because if it's the straight up Winged Eagle, but then again, if it's one night only, if it was the straight up Winged Eagle, just the old one, might make a little more sense. Because then it's all right, well, obviously they're not going to stay with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think they're in dangerous territory, Dylan, if they do a Winged Eagle 2.0 for one night only. Come on.
Yeah, if that's the thing.
Come on.
But that's the thing. But that's the other part is where I'm yeah, they're in dangerous. Yeah, that makes me think they won't do it because they're in dangerous territory because everybody's going to want to keep it. But then I'm they know how many. They know they would sell so many. So I'm I don't think they care.
Sell it. I don't that would suck.
I agree. I don't think they care. I think it's a business at the end of the day, and there's a shit ton of money to be made in a new Winged Eagle, and even if it isn't being carried around full time, they're probably going.
I think that would be dumb as hell.
It would suck.
I'll say it. I think it would be so stupid for them to update it, Winged Eagle 2.0, to bring it back for a one night only, just to never be seen again. That just makes no sense. And I know what you're saying because they would sell an insane amount, but I also think they would just boost their sales in the Winged Eagle also that night as well. But then
That is also true. No doubt.
the other thing is like, all right, well now we're doing it. We have another Saturday night's main event in like a month and a half.
What if it's a
So then
Cody custom title? You think it's a? What are the odds it's just a Cody custom?
Probably high, considering they just had LA Knights
Yeah,
kind of slightly custom. I think they know. I think they can't
I
tease
agree.
it and have it not
I do
be the
agree.
Winged Eagle.
Yeah, I do agree.
I think so. I'll say this as like an official prediction. I think it's going to be the old school Winged Eagle, not
Just with the
updated or
new
anything.
logo
Probably with the new logo.
instead of the scratch. Yeah.
And I will say that if it is an updated 2.0 version, then they're keeping it. I think there's no shot they do a Winged Eagle 2.0 to not have it stay. That's my thoughts.
I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. I personally just think they just want to sell it and just make a bunch of money off it. I hope I'm wrong though. But
Yeah.
let's get into this prediction, Mark, because
That's right.
there has
That's
been
right.
some heat building in this feud. And in a lot of ways, Kevin Owens has a right to feel the way he feels. And I think
Yep.
that is a big part of, this story is that Kevin isn't necessarily all that wrong. He's not handling the situation great, but he's not necessarily wrong.
No.
And I think Kevin, since this heel turn, has been doing incredible work, like so good. I love how that Kevin Owens gimmick at this point is just like the only wrestler that uses real world brain. You know what I mean? Who's just like, no, you didn't. Like, I was suspended for the last 2 weeks, and now you want me to do an interview in there. That's insane. I'm not going to come in for an interview when I literally wasn't allowed in there the last 2 weeks. We could have done it the last 2 weeks. And I'm just like, that's a really good point. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, that's a really good point. The points he makes about why he's upset with Cody, very good points. And
Even dating back to Ezekiel,
yeah.
Elias's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, I believe, with all of that wrapped in, and with, like you said, Mark, we're getting something big is happening at main event. And
Sure is.
I still, hey, Rhea versus Bianca, banger.
Yeah. Is that a chance still to happen at WrestleMania?
I think Rhea versus Bianca is. So, I'll tell you this. I'm almost positive that will happen at a WrestleMania at some point. I don't think this upcoming one, but it's gonna. Like,
Okay.
I think they're the two, like, figureheads of this era of this women's division. So,
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you this: if Rhea walks in, if Rhea is Women's World Champion before WrestleMania, then I think there's a good shot.
it's
Her
Bianca.
versus Bianca. It could be.
That would be
It'll
sweet.
it'll be on the table for sure. We'll be talking about it.
No
That's a
doubt.
match that
And it
could
would be a
happen.
banger. And it would,
That'd
yeah,
be-
it could
that'd
be
be
match of the
awesome.
night.
So,
Back to the Cody and Kevin. With all that being said, we think something really big's going down. And I think Kevin is winning the title here. I think Kevin Owens is going to become the new undisputed WWE champion. I don't feel like super confident in this. I'm not like, oh, like this is happening. I just got a weird feeling, man. Like I just like
gotta trust the gut.
the way they're pushing it. I'm like, I almost think so. I like the idea of a Randy return. Everyone's like, oh, he's gonna help Cody, but he doesn't. He doesn't help him.
Okay.
He fucking costs Cody. And KO is your new champ, and I think it would be such a good swerve to just one, get people tuned in for the rest of the week, and then, dude, this would just be insane if Kevin wins here.
Well, and I'll tell you what, if Randy does come back to cost him, then we're getting Cody versus Randy at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Which
So that's the other
would pivot us from the triple threat that you think is happening.
Yeah, that would be
Which,
sweet.
thank God. No one wants that triple threat match.
No. I don't want it.
Nobody does.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just have a weird feeling that they're going to put the title on Kevin here. It's insane that he hasn't held the title again since winning it that first time.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And I think now is a perfect opportunity to kind of capture something that's really hot right now, which is, and then I think putting the title on Kevin would just blast him to the moon right now. And then throw that Kevin and Sammy feud in there for the title. Holy shit, dude. Like, that would be incredible.
That would be awesome.
We're talking about making childhood dreams come true. Kevin versus Sam main event of WrestleMania for the title. The sad part is it probably wouldn't even main event. That's the sad part.
It wouldn't.
Even if it was for the title. But give it to me anyway.
Yeah. So I think Cody's going to retain here. I just think he's holding the title for a little longer. It wouldn't shock me like a ton. I think there's probably a better chance than people may kind of realize that Kevin has to win. But I just don't. To me, my gut says it's not the time nor the place. Also, we have the real quick before we sign off, we have like the transfer portal going on.
Oh yeah, we do have that. Expected the Bloodline to go to Netflix. I'm expecting that.
And so I was thinking, real quick, we can kind of briefly touch on it.
That's a great point from Curvin in our chat. Really quick, want to make it even. From did I say Curvin or Carmelo?
You said Curvin. I said Carmelo.
Okay. But that would be awesome if Kevin wins and then gets the winged eagle thing and drops it in the trash.
I mean, well, because you did say that you kind of like them doing this kind of, you thought it kind of helped Kevin Owens' case in winning also.
Yeah, I think it. I said they're doing it for Cody as like a commemoration because he's about to fucking lose to KO. I love Cody as well. I'm just so in on this current version of Kevin Owens, man. And I know KO's like probably your top guy. So
he's my number one.
No complaints
ever.
So yeah, dude, that would be crazy. But so you do think Cody is retaining though?
Yes. I think Cody's going to retain. I think that he probably won't lose until Mania or SummerSlam. Ideally SummerSlam, just because, like, I don't know, you can have big things happen not at WrestleMania and stuff. But, yeah, I'm taking Cody. Dylan's taking KO. Real quick before we sign off, Dylan, Carmelo Hayes is wrestling a mystery opponent tonight on SmackDown. In the transfer portal, speculation, if it could be Penta. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Trick.
Ooh, Trick would be awesome.
Because I think Oba beats Trick for the title.
And then Trick comes up.
We
get Trick versus Mello at Mania. Let's go.
Yeah. Whoop that Trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop.
But with that being said, Penta would also be awesome.
Yeah, he's great. He's very good.
So Penta would be sick.
Yeah,
I don't
dude,
know. It feels a little like underwhelming to just have like a Penta debut like that.
Really?
Like just like randomly on a SmackDown against Carmelo Hayes. I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like, yeah, but I think it also will kind
No
of.
diss on Melo. I love Melo. Just saying.
I think it's like a situation of them kind of wanting people like to tune in every week because you never know what's going to happen. Who's
Yeah,
going to
that
show
is
up on their
true.
show?
That is the other thing is that they do need to get, and I think they are getting better at the philosophy of things happening outside of just the big shows.
Yeah.
Because for so long it was like you could only really count on title changes or massive story developments to happen at one of the big shows. So the fact that we're having major developments on every weekly TV again, it's pretty cool.
Also, didn't Gargano just randomly come back on like an episode of Raw?
What do you mean?
When Gargano returned after he got released, he debuted and he just pulled up.
That was like
on
a
a
couple
random
years
episode.
ago. That was like years ago at this point.
No, he just got no. Maybe last year, maybe earlier this year, or his
No
contract
way, dude.
expired for a few months. I swear to God, his contract expired, and then they had a kid, and then he just randomly showed up.
Yeah, like when Triple H first re-signed him.
Yeah,
Dude, DIY's been back together for so long.
how long do you think ago that was?
That might have been 2 years ago at this point.
2 years ago?
It might have been.
Damn.
I swear to God.
Hey, that's all me.
Wait,
I don't know.
when-
I swear it felt like it was recent. Maybe last year. I feel like it did not happen in 2022.
August 22nd, 2022.
God damn.
Over 2 years ago.
All right, that's all me. That's all me.
I was going to say, bro, what?
Why do I feel like that happened so recently?
I'm
I'm an idiot.
No. I don't know. Maybe because we got the DIY reunion.
Probably.
more
It was
recently.
probably I kind of just forgot about everything before DIY came back. But anyway,
speaking of that, DIY are the new tag champs.
They are.
DIY heel turn, a fake breakup during the match. They got me.
They didn't get me.
Like
Not that much.
but also, I'll give myself some credit. I wasn't watching all of SmackDown, so I did not see the segment earlier that night where the Street Profits were taken out and all that bit. All I saw was the match itself.
Yeah.
So,
Once I saw
but
that
when-
where they took him out, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I know what's up here. Because Gargano came out. And then also, like, another thing with, you kind of, like, start to learn to pick up on
I love
certain
heel
lines.
DIY.
Oh, yeah. But, like, because
go.
Gargano said, first, he was there immediately. So you're like, all right, that's sus. And then Aldis was like, all right, just make sure Ciampa's, like, stays away or whatever. And Gargano's like, all right, don't trust me. Like, you don't have to worry about Ciampa. So then you're like, all right, that's a little bit of foreshadow. So, yeah, DIY heel. Although, as much as I hate short title reigns, I'm fine with, because then we're going to kind of let this feud cook for a little bit. And I think it was just like having Motor City Machine Guns, kind of just rewarding them for everything that they've kind of done on the indies and stuff for the past 20 years. It was like, here's a
and I
reward.
think they
We'll
also
immediately
just
make you
wanted
champs.
Yeah, and I also think they wanted just to immediately establish that these guys are here, like they're here in the tag team division. Like these guys are here to help elevate this tag team division. They're not here to try and make a name. Like we need their help.
Oh, yeah.
They don't need our help. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Like I'm like, this is a signing in my head where I'm like, WWE's like, all right, like if you're signing the Lucha Bros and the Motor City Machine Guns, you are doing that because you're trying to invest more into your tag division.
Oh yeah.
So you're
Yeah,
not
and
just
I also
doing
think,
that to do that.
and I will say real quick, I think Raw and SmackDown are probably going to 3 hours.
Interesting.
Because I think that they definitely Raw. Like, I would be pretty surprised if Raw on Netflix wasn't 3 hours. Maybe, like I said last week, 2.5 hours, no commercials. Because 3 hours with no commercials may be a lot. So maybe 2.5 hours, but they got to do more than 2 hours at this point with adding 2 women's mid-card titles plus the women's tag titles plus the tag division is going to get more TV time, because that has kind of been one of our complaints recently, at least on Raw, is just like the world tag titles are just like nothing.
Yeah, and they got to
sucks.
defend against the War Raiders again this upcoming Monday.
Yeah, I think they drop them.
Yeah, so do I.
Think they drop
I
them.
think,
For
especially
the love
after,
of God, please.
especially after, because the War Raiders already lost to them.
Mm.
So like they already had a tag team title match and lost. This is a rematch.
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
I don't see them
look out
beating
for
the War
that.
Raiders twice, especially just after the War Raiders came back.
Yeah. Like we just kind of said, you don't want to bring people back just to have them immediately lose. But
Yeah.
Dylan, do you have any final predictions, any hot takes before we wrap it up here? I think KO winning's a fairly hot take.
Yeah, I mean, I just
say.
think KO winning is probably my hot take, but
maybe The Rock. Is that
Yeah, The
official
Rock.
prediction? Is the official prediction
No.
The Rock coming back?
no. My
Not
official
unofficial.
prediction is KO winning.
Okay.
KO winning makes no sense for The Rock to come back.
That is true, unless The Rock costs Cody.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But then again, to me, it doesn't feel like KO would want The Rock's help.
Yeah. I'm with you. KO seems like he would hate The Rock.
Yeah.
But all right, so that is going to wrap up this live episode of the podcast. We have Friday Night SmackDown tonight, the go-home show before Saturday night's main event, which is tomorrow, or maybe it's today, depending on if you're listening to this via audio streaming service. You should follow us on X, Dylan, at The Burnt Hammer, because I will be tweeting during the show. So if you want to get my immediate and initial reactions to everything happening over there, then you got to follow us on X at The Burnt Hammer. And then you can follow us on everything else at The Burning Hammer, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, RIP TikTok. You can listen to the Burning Hammer podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. All that stuff is linked in the description. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. We are on the way to 4K subbies, so definitely make sure to do that. And if you are watching or listening to this, definitely make sure to comment your predictions for Saturday night's main event, and we will be responding down in the comment section below. So with that being said, I'm Mark Izzo, he is Dylan O'Brien, and this has been another episode of the Burning Hammer podcast. We'll catch you next week for the fallout of Saturday night's main event.